Hi.
Sorry, first off, for the shitty video quality. All the lights in this room are on, and we still look like floating heads. Yeah. It's really weird, so.
First off, the videos that we're doing right now, this is kind of a part one. We love way too many movies. Franchise-wise,
Marvel movies,
Star Wars, Harry Potter,
Lord of the Rings, shit like that.
Those are all a given. We're just going to focus on movies classics that we love for certain reasons, like for sentimentality reasons. They had a big part of our childhood, or if something just struck a chord with us, we're going to talk about that kind of thing. The rules of the game. We have a box here. In it are pieces of paper with names of movies, and you're going to take turns drawing them, and we're going to have 30 seconds. I'm going to time with my cell to describe what we love about these movies. If we were to take even just a minute on each one, it would take like 30 minutes. We're going to turn this into a little bit of a game here. Okay. And let's start.
Box trolls.
Beastly creatures roam the night.
Box trolls! Box trolls are monsters!
At least, that's what everyone's been told.
Coraline. Paranorman.
You gotta use your gift of talking to the dead to stop it.
Frankenweenie, etc.
Any of those claymation, like Tim Burton-esque.
All stuff by Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite. We watch it every Christmas Eve because it's tradition and it's so amazing.
Jack Skellington.
I am the Pumpkin King!
Dreams of something different.
I'm really partial to Frankenweenie. I love the story of Frankenstein so much.
He was a great dog. A great friend.
Psycho. Okay, so Alfred Hitchcock is a genius. Norman Bates is one of the best characters of all time. Psychological angles that he took, the camera tricks, that
best plot twist ever.
Masterpiece.
Okay. She just goes a little mad sometimes.
And go.
Cabin in the Woods. Okay, again, cannot say enough, okay? Because it's like every horror movie that we love ever made just like combined into one beautiful little masterpiece.
When we were younger, we always said that we wanted to take a horror movie and make it into every genre of horror movie, like include the monsters, the demons, the ghosts, and Joss Whedon totally did our job for us, but it's like we paid him to make the movie that we wanted to see.
That movie was beautiful. We saw it 4 times in the theater.
4, yeah.
Every single fucking time. It was amazing.
Oh, this is awesome.
Reset. Saw. We watch all 7 of these movies the first week of October. Anybody who thinks that this movie is half-assed, read The History of Torture. So much philosophy. Everything in this book, all of the old historical techniques that they talk about going into torture chambers and stuff, so much thought went into these movies. They are absolute pure genius.
This is the king of all horror movies. See? It's what Jigsaw cuts out of his victims to signify a piece that they're lacking in humanity, and I had to get that. It's absolutely beautiful. Next time I get the money, we'll be munchers.
Yay!
Freaks.
Go.
Oh, okay.
Freaks.
So,
We told you we had living, breathing monstrosities. You laughed at them, shuddered at them, and yet, but for the accident of birth, you might be even as they are.
kind of like
used real freak show performers.
It's kind of like the basis for the new season of American Horror Story.
Absolutely lovely. It was ahead of its time.
The acting was great for an old movie. It's amazing.
It was banned in several areas, and absolute masterpiece. My turn. Okay, ready? Phantom of the Opera. Now, I love horror musicals, okay? Stage Fright with Repo, the Genetic Opera. Sweeney Todd, Devil's Carnival.
Listen up, everyone. We're putting heaven out of business.
They're these these gothic musicals. Can't get enough of the mix-up of the genre. There's just something very emotional about being at the height of your trauma and singing about it.
Pacific Rim.
Oh!
Yeah, I'll let you take this one.
Okay, so I love this movie not only because of the giant monsters crashing through the city and all the robots and testosterone-fueled everything, but the male version of me is in this movie, the more badass male version of me.
Oh, no, call me Newt. Oh, please. Oh, this little kaiju? No, he was one of the biggest Category 3s ever. He was 2,500 tons of awesome. We're awful.
So Newt, the tattooed mad scientist.
Pacific Rim dog tags. Striker Eureka, bitch.
Mad scientist movies. Okay, this is my forte. Human Centipede started it, the ultimate revenge fantasy.
Connected via the gastric system. The human centipede. First sequence.
May is a fun one. She turns people into dolls.
Be careful. She just might steal your heart.
I need more parts.
Excision.
Some of your behavior has been downright sociopathic.
American Mary.
Have you ever heard of body modification?
Tusk.
Tusk made me throw
Oh,
up.
turning a dude into a walrus. You can't get better than that.
Why are you doing this?
Are you really mourning your humanity? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be human?
Anytime you have a mad scientist who's turning people into bugs or animals or anything, it just can't get enough of it.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Frankenstein's army, okay? Yes.
Only the Nazis would think of something like this. Throwing dead people together. Giving them knives for hands. It's insane.
Reanimator, Herbert West.
We're done, but we met Herbert West at Crypticon, okay? Autograph.
Autograph. Look, it says Newt.
Universal Dracula Frankenstein pack. Okay, this is her.
Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein. Red Dawn.
Okay. Wolverine's 18th birthday, first tattoo ever, first of many.
Tell him about the font.
Oh my god. Okay, so I met C. Thomas Howell at Crypticon,
It's
right?
in his writing.
Played Robert in Red Dawn. My hatred keeps me warm, all that shit. Find the DVD for me and wrote Wolverines, and then I took this into the tattoo shop and got it done in his font. So this is basically his handwriting, and I love that movie so much. It's so kick-ass and
America.
powerful. America, dude. It's fucking awesome. Pet Cemetery. Ooh, we
Okay.
just watched this.
I'm going to get a Gage tattoo, which is the little kid from this movie.
Come back to me, Gage. Come back to us.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, I'm gonna start crying. This is one of the best movies ever. I read the book and loved it when I was 15. Realized I wanted to be a mother because of how much this upset me. And I would love to get a Gage tattoo, like, right here, and have the actor Miko Hughes sign it if I ever meet him at Crypticon. Boondock Saints.
Anybody you think is evil? Don't you think that's a little weird, a little psycho?
Sort of like 7-Eleven. We're not always doing business, but we're always open.
That is nicely put.
So this is like my favorite non-horror movie ever because everything about it is perfect, okay? They're Irish, they're hot, they're brothers, they're fucking vigilantes, which is so badass. That's like my dream job. Nobody has a love interest. That's the key part there. It's all
perfect.
about them. And there's an awesome gay detective, and he's super badass, and
He listens to opera while he
Holy
infiltrates
Sherlock's
crime
a murder
scenes, like
scene. Ginger
Snaps.
Awesome.
Sibling-oriented horror movies. I watched this when I was like 12. I fell in love with it. The acting, it's one of those indie horror movies, but it is absolutely perfect. I've always loved werewolves.
Oh my god. You think I want to go back to being nobody?
This is like the ultimate werewolf movie. Chris Lemke was my childhood love. He's just a skinny, pasty, gothic thing, and he's just perfect. Evil Dead. It was one of the rare instances of the remake actually being perfect, at least by my standards. just felt like the whole series was done perfectly. I'm so excited for the TV series.
Meet Bruce Campbell so bad.
Oh, Bruce Campbell.
He's like my idol. Ash
he
is
turned
just...
the chainsaw into just like this
one of the only male leads in a horror movie at that point in time. So many of them were female, and he was one of the first to really break the mold. So that's just Hellraiser.
Clive Barker is
amazing.
God.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Trick or Treat.
Ooh.
Anything Halloween themed ever.
The werewolves, man.
The werewolves. But Sam himself is just
so cute.
I wanted to get the lollipop
little
tattoo.
Pumpkin head.
He's just the cutest little darling.
And the short cartoon at the end of the movie where he goes, trick or treating, and this guy's like evil and about to murder him, and so he kills him and stuffs him in his candy bag, and
he's darling. And
Hannibal.
Okay,
Ooh.
So Manhunter, we have Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, name alone, and then Hannibal Rising.
Do you have any guilty knowledge of the death of Paul Mormon?
Guilty knowledge? I found them. The men who killed my family.
He was killed in the woods where your family died.
His face had been eaten.
All of them are great. The third movie, Hannibal, is only good because of the scene where Hannibal makes that guy eat his own brain. That is beautiful.
And the hog scene, the scene where the pigs eat the
really
dude.
cool.
Yeah, that was actually
Hannibal
cool.
Rising. This is a sibling element with him and his little sister Misha that struck home for me way, way too much. And so that one is a personal, biased favorite of mine because of the way that they set it up. But Silence of the Lambs will always be a classic. Orgasmo. Okay, so this is one of the only comedies
like
on
a
our
porn,
list. Yeah,
but
it's not
it's
a
not.
porn. It's about a Mormon who gets wrapped up in doing porn.
And I want you to take over as the leading man in my film.
Come on, boys, grease them up.
And action!
Give it to me, you pigs!
It's by the guys who do South Park. It's Matt Stone and Trey Parker. And they are some of the only comedians that I actually like. Some of the only non-horror stuff. They do the Book of Mormon, Cannibal the Musical, Basketball.
Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I have a special fondness for this.
A very merry birthday.
To me?
To you. A very merry birthday.
For me?
For you.
I grew up watching the old cartoon and reading the books. I have read every single book adaptation. I've seen every single movie adaptation. That story just really just gets to me for some reason. I just grew up on it and I absolutely love it. And the new Tim Burton movie is amazing, and the old
video
cartoon is amazing.
game.
The video game.
Played
I
that like
played the
5
video
times.
game like
Alice
12
Madness
times.
Returns. Yeah,
it's
by
incredible.
American McGee.
Yeah, I can't say enough about that because Alice in Wonderland is like my
That's
favorite
a whole
thing
other
ever.
video in and of itself.
Yeah, it really is.
Cinderella.
I actually just got back from seeing this tonight with my mom and my little sister. I cried the whole time. Okay,
Now, where are these mice? They're made of glass. And you find that really comfortable.
It was from my childhood. I love Cinderella so much. I love fairy tales, and every time an iconic scene happened, I was just crying because I'm like, that was in the cartoon. I remember that. It was just so incredible, and the girl was beautiful and amazing, and happy endings, and I just absolutely adored it.
Oh, which one are you gonna pick?
Gremlins.
So, this is signed by Zach Galligan, Billy from Gremlins. I grew up on this movie. I watched it from the time I was like 5, onwards. I have it on DVD. I met the guy who played Billy. This is one of my most prized possessions ever.
It's
so
fun and it's scary.
It is.
It's perfect.
And look, see, and he knew. Okay, when I met Zach Galligan, I said my name was Newt. He's like, oh, from the movie Aliens.
You just
and my
like
friend
died.
Ian was nudging me, and I was just like dying inside, and I was just like, holy fucking shit. Okay, so that was the first time we've ever done something rushed, because last time we got an hour and a half's worth of footage, and the editing process was a total bitch, and so it was a little rushed. We didn't get to go nearly into as much as we would have loved to about these movies. I mean, all of the backstory, the tattoos, I have so many tattoos that I could have touched on that are in relation to all these movies. So we were unable to ramble, but that means that you were deprived of awesome backstory, so
Maybe there'll be a part 2.
maybe there'll be a part 2.